Hello everyone, welcome to IR Photo Tours YouTube channel. I have hijacked Ian's channel for today. We're going to put Ian on the spot. He's the landscape expert, and so I'm going to ask him to come in now and he's going to give us a little chat. We're going to go through the equipment he prefers to use and some of his locations. He's going to tell us all about landscape. Welcome to your channel. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Oh dear, it's all on me now.
It is. Oh, first question I've got to ask you is, I mean, I can see all this wonderful equipment laid out for us.
Yeah.
What is your go-to camera for landscapes?
Right, well this is a difficult one, because my go-to camera now would be the Canon EOS R.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you the reasons why, but my go-to camera beforehand, before the EOS R came along, was always the 5DS for landscapes.
Yeah.
And there's a big reason for that, and that's mainly because of its 50.6 megapixels of sensor and its ability to render all that detail. But the dynamic range was never an amazing dynamic range with this camera, but to be fair, with landscapes it doesn't matter too much, because this is where filters come into play. But we'll talk about that later. So it is, however, quite a heavy camera. And when the EOS R come along, I was blown away straight away. As soon as, well, yourself, you know, we were talking about it. It was to and fro.
On the last video as well.
I was completely blown away with its capabilities, what it could do. The camera itself is just fantastic. It has the flip out screen. It has, and we're going to go on to lenses soon.
Yeah.
So this is where it helped me out a lot, was the focus assist with certain lenses that do not have autofocus. The fact that you could put, you name it, it's out there anyway. The information's out there about the EOS R. Yeah. And I have done reviews previous to this, so I won't go hit on too much about that. But for me personally, it is my go-to camera over and above the 5DS.
Yeah. Okay, well on a similar theme then, I'll ask the same question. What is your go-to lens to stick on your EOS R for landscapes? Is there a one go-to lens, or does it depend on circumstances? Or
I can tell you, I would not say there was a go-to lens as such, but I think you know my favourite lens, and my favourite lens is definitely the 17mm tilt shift.
Ah, yeah, but it's a nice specialist lens.
It's a specialist lens. But like I say, we can hit on that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
But it is a specialist lens, and it's a lovely lens, and it is my go-to. Let's not say that. It's not a go-to lens, but it is a lens that I use very frequently and quite a lot. However, there are a few lenses that I use for landscape. If I'm up in the mountains, for example, Trevor, I will use the 70-200mm, and I shall put the filters on the end. Specifically for inverted clouds, stuff like that. So if you want to see a village when you're on top of the mountain, you're looking down, you see all the inverted clouds. We were at a particular fell at Derwentwater, and you had, of course, Keswick right at the bottom there. And Keswick, if anyone doesn't know about Keswick too much, especially from above, it has one church, and that one church, when you've got inverted clouds, pokes its...
Oh, the steeple pokes out above the cloud.
Exactly. And that's 70-200mm, perfect for that scenario. And perfect for when you're up in the mountains trying to get things. Yeah, so you can
pinpoint a particular detail and also compress with the telephoto.
Absolutely, actually. I had a friend who used the 150-600mm Sigma lens and took a shot of me on the mountain. And that was an amazing photo, and I'll put it up right now. And, you know, that's what you get with the compression behind. So you're getting all the mountains compressed behind, making it look massive, even though it's a small field of view. And it looks amazing. So
if you'd have taken the same, or he'd have taken the same photo with a wide angle, you wouldn't even see it. You'd be a tiny little speck in the distance.
You'd be a little speck.
So it's horses for courses.
Absolutely, yes.
And you're going to tell us all about those horses.
Yes.
For our courses.
Indeedy.
Excellent.
Yes. When I'm a bit confused on a new location, I probably wouldn't go to this lens. I would have it in my bag, but if I know and I'm looking at the scene and I'm knowing where I want to go, for example, Scotland, you know, locations in Scotland, for example, if I haven't been there before and I haven't been to that location, I'm going to sort of kind of in my head think, well, what focal length would I need? Now I'm going to do a wide angle, I know that, but what focal length? Will I go up to 40 mil? So,
yeah.
you know, nicely I have, that leads me on to the 17 mil to 40 mil wide angle.
Yeah,
lens.
F4L
F4L
version.
yes.
Canon's F4L.
Yes.
Version, yeah.
Now it's an old lens, and I don't think you can get that new anymore. Can you?
I honestly don't know.
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
It's an old lens, and you can pick it up for around about £400 now. And to me, well, we're actually, funnily enough, dropping onto that. We are actually videoing on it.
Ah,
so, yes.
yeah. Oh.
So there it is.
Wonderful.
So the 17mm to 40mm Canon lens, and it's a superb lens.
Yes, cracking sharp lens.
And there's the 16 to 35.
Yeah, that's a lovely lens. Well,
and of course I
two
have that.
versions, F4
Yes.
and the F2.8.
Yes.
Both L
Yes.
series.
But the sharpest one is the F4.
Until they brought out the third.
Until they brought
Mark
out the
III F2.8.
Yes.
Blows it away.
Yes. I don't see the point in using an F2.8 in landscape. There's no need for it. There is no need for it.
Yeah.
You're on a tripod most of the time.
Oh yeah, but it just adds, I mean the F2.8 adds to its versatility for other genres.
It does, and I'll tell you the versatility where it would work is if you're on holiday and you want to pack light and you don't want to be taking a tripod with you on, you know, on an aeroplane and what have you.
Yeah.
The F2.8 16 to 35 comes in extremely well for hand holding for landscapes.
Yeah.
So that's where it does work, I think.
Yeah.
But other than that, I kind of wouldn't see another use for it for myself.
Yeah.
Certainly not for the price that they want.
No,
for
I know it's a ridiculous amount of money.
Yes.
But by the same token, the F4L version has got IS.
Yes.
So hand holding
Yes.
works as well. So
Yes.
horses for
indeed.
courses.
Yeah.
Again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plenty of choice
Yes.
with Canon range.
I'll say for me though, I like value for money. Well, try.
We all.
You know, we do, don't we? We all like
Yeah.
value for money. So for me personally, 17mm to 40mm lens is an absolute bargain for what it is. And stepping up from that, you've got the 16 to 35, which is f4. And in my honest opinion, I cannot really see a great deal of difference between the two lenses, in my opinion. And that's from real world use of using these. Now, that drops me on to one fine point actually, and you know, this is not about a scientific review on camera gear. I must say that now. So what it is about is me being a landscape photographer and loving and having a great passion for that, and using the gear that I have and knowing what it does for me and how it works for me. You can go scientific as much as you like, but at the end of the day, the end result is the image.
Yeah.
The image. The end result is the image.
Yeah.
And further on from that is the print. So whatever you've got in your hands, at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yep. Well said, sir.
And it's how you get there that matters as well.
Well said. Well said.
So all this
Yeah.
jargon about, oh, you know, scientific this and scientific that, and that doesn't work, and what this does and what that does, and the whatever, the graphs.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It makes no difference.
Yeah, it's what you get.
So it's what you get at the end.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, moving on from that, 16 to 35mm lens, 17mm to 40mm lens, and we've not even touched on that, but we're going to. We are going to, because that's an amazing piece of kit.
Yeah. What is the other one you got there?
This one here, Sigma.
Okay.
24mm. F18.
1.8 or 1.4?
1.4. Sorry, 1.4.
Yes, F1.4.
F1.4.
And is that the art lens?
And that's the art lens. Beautiful lens.
Nice bit of kit.
Really, really nice.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I used to use it with the 5DS, and this is why I love the EOS R, because when I put this lens, the art lens, onto the 5DS, I found it quite soft.
Really?
I found the Sigma quite soft.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Ah,
yes, and
okay.
it's not down to me. I know how to
Yeah,
to get focus.
We trust your genius, Mr. Robinson.
That was down to the combination, and I thought I'd try it on the EOS R.
Yeah.
And when I bought the EOS R,
Yeah.
blows it away.
Works
Beautiful,
great.
absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And so does the 150
Yeah.
600mm lens from
Yeah.
Sigma as well.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
works a treat.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know scientifically. It sounds to me though that it could be the enormous amount of pixels in
Could
the
be.
outperforming the lens,
Yeah.
and then you get something of lesser pixels
Yeah.
come into play, and the lens performs beautifully.
Yeah, it could be.
But yes, I mean, I have to say I've seen some of the results from your Sigma 1.4,
Yeah.
and it's cracking.
Well, I've just done one
No,
recently on a night shoot, and that's what I use it for mainly. is night
Night
landscapes.
photography. Ah,
Yes.
well, I was funny enough. I was going to ask you the 24 when you've got all these other lenses covering that covering that focal range, and so right. So that's your astrophotography.
That is the go-to lens for
Ah, yes.
astrophotography.
Ah,
I
brilliant,
don't actually
brilliant.
use anything else for that.
Yeah, and presumably you're going to put a picture up around about now.
There you go.
Excellent, very nice.
Yeah, so that covers that, and you
Yeah.
can see just how crisp
Yeah,
and what detail you get from
Yeah.
this lens
yeah,
and that camera
yeah.
as a combination. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I am absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
Just
Go on.
covering one more.
Yeah, go on.
24mm to 70mm lens.
Yeah,
Great for the range.
yeah,
However, as soon as you come away from 24mm,
yeah,
you are getting into a bit of blur where the front to back is, because mainly that is really, in my opinion, more a portrait lens than it is a landscape lens.
yeah,
F20, you can go all the way down to F22,
yeah.
and your depth of field will still be quite narrow,
Right.
and it's not the ideal landscape.
Yeah, no, sorry, I get where you're coming from.
Yes.
There. I've just twigged it. Yeah.
So your depth of field is smaller.
Yeah, you're not going to get such good depth of
So
field
you
as
won't
you are
get-
with a 17mm or a
Yes.
whatever, because the
That's
wider
right.
the angle, the greater your depth
Yes.
of field.
And with landscape,
You need.
you want great big depth of
everything.
field.
Yeah. Yeah.
With portrait, you want shallower depth of field. So
Yeah.
there's a big difference.
Yeah.
So that is not ideal, but it is good in its form for landscape in certain areas.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
covered that.
But the interesting point for those of you who haven't dipped your fingers into landscape
Oh, yeah.
photography, you know, talking about the choice of lens, which obviously we are, a 24-70 is not a bad place to start. You know, if budget's tight, you're limited. You know, a nice 24-70, whatever the manufacturer,
What, as an all-round lens?
as an all-round lens.
I agree.
You know, because
Yeah.
the 24mm, yes, you can do it landscape.
Same as the
Zoom into
24-105.
70mm is also useful. Yeah, the 24-105
Yep.
Canons.
Totally
Yeah.
agree. I've used that
Again,
for landscape.
Brilliant all-rounder.
Yep.
So don't get put off by, oh, that's perhaps not good enough for this, perhaps not good enough. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want
It
to
is good
use it
enough.
for, make it work.
Yeah, specifically at the 24mm end.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
At the 24mm end, the depth of field is
Yeah.
massive, and
Yeah.
that's brilliant there.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that's covered them. So what we've got here, Trevor,
Oh, yeah.
is Trevor's kindly brought his beautiful lens in, and what's that over there? What's that over there?
Oi.
Beautiful lens. And we're going to hit on price in a minute. and that's-
No, we're not.
We are. We are, because it's relevant. But if you are starting out, I don't think you'll be going for one of these. But, I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that beautiful element there. Almost looks like a fisheye. Well, in fact, it really does look like a fisheye. Now,
Yeah, but it's not.
I don't know whether you can guess what this lens is. And I feel like I should give it back to you, really, because it's the 11-24
F4.
f4
L.
and autofocus on it as well. No,
Yeah.
no IS.
No.
You don't really need it.
No,
And we're going to show a few images from this. From you
Oh, yeah.
shooting me at that door there
Oh, yeah.
and here
Yeah, but.
when I was doing all my
yeah,
woodwork.
yeah. So
in here.
11mm, it's just
It's
ridiculous
amazing.
what you get. But it's a rectilinear
Go on.
wide angle. So if you've got your camera dead level, you don't get any distortion. You don't
Yeah.
get none of the the perspective is warped or anything. But that is designed for interiors, architecture, and landscape, with no distortion.
Yeah. So everything upright as it should.
Because there's no, I mean, if you're an architect or you're taking architectural photos, you do not want to take the picture of skyscrapers or whatever.
Yeah.
And you've got all those lines. Yeah, exactly. The buildings are curving in.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And how much are they?
Well, if you went into a your local Canon camera store, you'd be, I don't know, about 2,700 quid.
Yeah. Lovely lens, and definitely one to consider if you're doing landscapes, that's for sure. Next, we're going to hit on the 17mm
tilt shift
lens.
Yeah.
When I say hit on it, it is a specialised lens, so that's all I can do really. Otherwise, we could be here all day. So, tilt shift lens. What basically you can see these angles here. It's an amazing lens, right? Okay, so it's very difficult to keep it all short.
Yeah.
But what I really love about this lens and why I use it so much is because it's sharp front to back.
Yeah. And
to achieve that, you can adjust it on the ring here, on the manual focusing, and coupled with the EOS R and its auto-focusing mode, not auto-focusing mode, what is it?
Focus assist in manual mode. It's a manual focus only lens, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah. So there's no autofocus with this at all.
Yeah.
So it is completely manual, which is great. It's fine for me because being a landscape photographer, I'm generally on a tripod. Yeah. So it don't really bother me. Saying that, coupled with the EOS R, and you've got the focus assist, makes it fantastic.
Short, sharp.
So you can actually use this now with the EOS R, handheld, using it, and I have done quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it just makes it almost.
It speeds it up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it speeds it up a huge amount. Because you haven't got to use your live view and zoom into your live view and find out whether it's pin sharp or not. Yeah. So you can rely on that. I know there's been a couple of people out there that say it's hit and miss.
No,
I can't see any hit and miss personally.
I don't refer it because you've got that lens in your hand.
Yes.
Now we know as a landscape photographer and for landscape, it's the tilt function that comes into play on a tilt shift lens. Where you're changing the plane of focus relative to the camera to get everything in sharp focus from front to back. Do you as a landscape photographer ever use the shift function, which is either shifting the whole thing on the camera left to right or up and down?
So this is the shift function here. Now you can change all this independently, which I don't tend to do a lot. So once I've got it into, so you can see that changing there by pulling that lever back and pulling it back. Or you can change this piece here as well, so you can change the tilt and the shift independently. Okay, so it's all
very versatile.
Very, very versatile. So
I do use the shift function. Do you ever use that?
I do use the shift function with the wheel, so you can go from one extreme to the other, and the way I use that is in panoramics.
Ah, yes.
And this function is fantastic for panoramics up and down, so portrait panoramics.
Yeah.
And also landscape panoramics. Okay, so we can do both with that.
Yeah.
And there has been so many occasions that I have had to use it because even 17mm
not wide enough
was not
to get
good.
All in,
Here's a shot of Bukelli Etive Moor and the mountain Bukelli.
That's a mouthful. Is that in Wales?
Bukelli? No, that's in Scotland. It's actually in.
It's not very good.
It's actually in the, oh God, come on Ian.
Cairngorms?
No, here we go.
Oh no, stick it up on the screen.
It's there, you'll know where it is. The point is, there's a situation where you had the waterfall in the foreground, and the waterfall was there, and you also had the mountain, which was massive, and believe me, that is right in front of you in real life. Now this photograph actually shows it makes the mountain look like it's miles away.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, because but that was what I wanted. That's what the effect I wanted.
So I mean, obviously, you're going to put the photo up.
Yes, here
for everyone.
Yeah.
So you've got foreground waterfall, mountain in the background.
Yeah. Trees.
Was any of the other lenses,
sky.
24, even your 17mm zoom?
Yeah.
You couldn't get it all in.
No, I'd have to be like that in portrait mode.
Yeah.
to physically get that mountain in and get the top of the mountain in and the waterfall and everything that I would like as a good composition to that image.
Yeah.
No way I would have got that in.
So tilt and shift, you were able to put it in portrait mode.
Put it in portrait mode.
Take, how many shots did you take?
5.
5 shots. 1,
5 shots
2,
for this image.
3, 4, 5.
Yes, that's it.
Stitch them together.
Stitch them together in Lightroom.
Photoshop.
Well, I've done it in Lightroom because Lightroom is actually easy now.
because they've upgraded, changed.
Yeah, stitch them together in Lightroom, and that's the image.
Fantastic panorama.
Absolutely awesome.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's cracking. It's cracking. I have to say, well, I know because your head will get too big. But some of the landscapes that you do here, when I look at them, it just takes my breath away. I think, oh, that's why I don't like landscapes. He's too good.
Oh,
I'll stick to me macro.
you, Trevor.
I'll stick to me macro.
Well, I'm very humbled. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I find it. Right, you know, we've talked about the lenses and the cameras.
Yes.
You mentioned filters.
Yes.
Now, it's another little can of worms.
Yes.
When you get into these two specialist lenses.
Yes.
Boink, boink.
Yes.
So before we do that,
yeah.
What filter system do you use and have you used for your standard lenses before you went to specialist?
Right, okay, well that's a good one. What I used to use, and I still do on the other lenses, is 100mm. Now you'll notice I've still got the circular polarizer on there because it's so thin that it's very difficult to put onto that ring, so I leave it on.
So
this is 100mm.
What system is that?
Lee
filter system, 100mm.
The Lee filter system, 100mm.
Yeah, we got
by 150, is it?
Yeah. But it's their bog standard 100mm filter range.
Yes, bog standard 100mm filter range. Now,
so for those who aren't familiar with the square filter type, you buy yourself a little adapter that screws into the end of the lens.
Yes.
An adapter ring, and depending on your thread, and then you get the filter holder, and that then clips onto the adapter.
I've actually got it on the end of my
You've got it on there when you.
I tend to leave the rings on.
But that's the gist of it, isn't it?
Yeah. So
it's Lee filter 100mm system you use.
Yes, on any of these lenses like this or that one. Well, I don't actually on that one. That's an Escape. But the 17mm 40 I do. Yeah. So that's the 100mm system there.
Yeah. Other manufacturers are available.
There are. And because I wanted to retain, because I've over the years I've progressed and got more and more of these 100mm filters.
You've invested a lot into the Lee system.
A lot of money.
So you've got a lot of gear, a lot of filters.
Anyone that knows Lee filters,
I mean, they're cracking. Yeah.
They're great, but they're very expensive, aren't they?
I know.
So you don't want to be going, oh no, I've bought a new lens, but oh god, it doesn't fit all my filters. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I went to Lee.
And when you bought that?
When I bought this,
the tilt shift
lens. The day I bought tilt shift lens, I thought, well, I know that that's not going to work with my 100 system filters from Lee. So I bought this from Lee, and that's not cheap. That's about 40 quid. So anyway, I bought it, and I screwed it onto the end of onto the end of here. I shall show you. So it goes on like that. Okay. And that then covers the element, okay? But by doing that depth there on that element, even with the 100mm system, I couldn't I couldn't shift to do panoramics the way I wanted to with this without causing a massive vignette.
So you're losing half of the benefit of your 17mm wide angle. It's all gone because
you're losing the shift
blacking
off, which is what you want. So that really annoyed me.
Really?
Yeah, that really annoyed me. I was really upset about that, especially spending that money.
So what did you do, son?
So what I done in the end, I had to bite the bullet, and I trawled the internet. And I went for this system here, which was specially designed, and it says it on there, specially designed for the TSE 17mm tilt shift lens from Canon. Now this is the system, and it is Haida, Haida. Now I'm not 100% sure that that's pronounced correctly, but
close enough for me.
Yeah, it's a Chinese product. It's a fantastic piece of kit, and what it does is you get no vignette at all but you do have to move up to the 150.
Bigger filters.
150 system. So that goes on the end of there.
So do they...
Like so. Like that. And then you have this whopping great kite shaped
Yeah.
thingamajig on your front dual lens, which you don't really want because of the wind. That's what I was a bit concerned about, wind. You know?
Yeah. I suffer terribly. But
Yeah,
back to the job in hand.
Yes. So I'll show you some of the filters, shall I?
So Haida make the filters as well?
Yes.
Do Lee 150 system filters fit
Yes.
or not? They do?
Yes, they do, and that's why I chose this.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
why I chose this particular system.
Yeah.
Whenever I buy anything, I'm reviewing it to death. It'll take me months. It will take me literally months to buy a product because I want to know that it works in every way that I want it to work.
Yeah.
So Haida, basically, there's a mix of Haida and Lee.
And Lee, yeah.
So, for example, these pieces here, I wanted to get more than one. I wanted to get more than 2 filters into this system, into this Haida, because it only comes with 2 slots.
Oh, okay. So
So I've cannibalised it.
Right.
I haven't cannibalised.
You've adapted it.
I've adapted it. So what I've done is put my. I had an old filter system from Lee holder, the holder.
Yeah.
And what I've done was took them holders off and screwed these ones on to
Oh, that's handy to know that it fits, yeah.
So it does fit. So there's 3 filters.
Yeah.
Now I can fit 3 filters on there.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because when you go to the 150 system, with Lee, they've been clever enough to, on the end of their thing there, on here, on their holder, they've got this ring here which is specialised for, and it is made for
circular
polariser.
Yeah.
So therefore you only need 2 slots.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you know why I need 3 slots, because
you need then
I can't get a circular polariser on the front.
No.
So that's where Haida comes into play.
And they do one.
And they do one.
Slots into the 3rd slot.
Yes. So therefore, I've got my 3rd slot covered with the polariser.
Yeah.
And
then
the other
go
slots
back
can be
to Lee 150 square system.
Yeah.
Bing bang bosh.
And the main filters that I use for landscape are, I mean, I might want to be arty. I tend to try and be arty quite a lot. And I use the Lee 6 stopper and the Lee 10 stopper.
Yeah, big stopper, little stopper.
Yeah,
yeah.
Big stopper and little stopper, yeah. And they're generally used for flattening the sea, or even, you know, just doing the artistic side of photography and landscapes. Getting movement in the clouds, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that gives me the 3 slots I want.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with water and you want to do that kind of shoot, you need your 6 stopper stroke 10 stopper in your first slot.
Yeah, because it's always got to be nearest the lens element.
Yeah, and then you need, after that, you still need
another
graduated filter, whether it be 1 stop, 2 stop, or 3 stop, in the 2nd slot, because you still need to calm down that sky.
Yeah.
Some days you don't. There are days where you don't need it at all.
Yeah.
So don't think that you need a graduated filter every day.
But you don't. In your kit bag.
But you do want it in your kit bag.
Yeah.
And the 3rd slot, of course, is for because you're dealing with water, and you perhaps might want to get. So, for example, if you're in the Lake District, you're dealing with the lakes, and you want to calm the water down, and also you want to get reflections, you can do so. So that'd be the non-circular polarizer, the polarizer that goes into the 3rd slot.
Yeah.
And that works beautifully. So that's that.
Lovely old job. But I mean, I think the point that needs to be made here, and I was trying to go to it, is when you invest in a specialist lens, like the tilt shift, and indeed like the Beastie Boy 1124, the investment doesn't stop there. No. You pay a fortune for one of these.
Yes.
You then pay another small fortune to get a specialist filter holder if that is your
is
your want.
And the bag. You know, if you want to keep them safe and you want to keep them clean, this bag's a lovely bag. Funnily enough, that's a Haida bag, and that's relatively cheap actually.
Yeah. And
in the photography
that, I suppose, and your Lee filter bag, you can just hang them off your tripod when you're on location and dip in and dip out and play.
You can.
Mr. Magician with your filters.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
hang off your back, off your tripod there. Look.
Yeah.
So yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Or there've been many a time that I've had this over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Had my camera on my tripod, being lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best thing to do, but I have done it.
Needs
You'll
must.
see it.
Needs must when you
Well, I don't want to carry all that weight.
No,
Sometimes, especially when you're going for a long trawl.
No, yeah. Just pass those
Yes, and then that hits
things
us.
because, well, it's just showing that, you know, you think that one's big for the 17 mil. When you get
there you go. Look.
You know, made exclusively for the 1124, you then got to stick this lot on. Easily done.
And that is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how.
Oh,
That to me
but
really
anyway,
is like
it
having
does-
a sail on your
It does fit.
on your front of your lens, really.
Oh, there it is going.
I can't imagine you going very
So
strong winds with that.
we've now got this massive great thing on the front
That's
here.
huge.
But
It's a different system.
there's no, because you're at 11 mil, it's just absolutely ridiculously wide. You still want to get your big stopper, little stopper, graduated and whatever in there. I mean, it's a beautifully engineered bit of kit, but where are we?
Yeah, let's do a little comparison here, I think.
Look at the filters.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is
That
a sail.
that is a graduated filter.
Wow. Honestly. Okay, so look, that's amazing. That is.
I know,
That's
it's a whopper. It's a whopper, but
So
with
we're
11
going-
mil, you don't get any vignetting. Look at the difference. Compare
Yeah,
the
well,
difference.
we're going to compare the difference between the 100 mil here,
Yeah.
the 150, and because that's a good point. It's, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
So there's your 100. There's your
Oh,
150.
well, let's go
No, we're going
anyway.
up for the other.
Yeah,
bit.
ready?
Yeah, 150.
yeah, there you go. Look.
One enormous.
Wow. And I thought this was huge.
Yeah. So you just you know, bear in mind it's all very well thinking, oh, having the equipment
lens.
envy and thinking, oh, I must buy that lovely wide angle lens. The money doesn't stop there.
No, it doesn't. So you got, you know, filters. Well, yeah, the filters they're not cheap.
It's a
If
silly
you
thing.
want good filters, they're not cheap.
No.
And I would not buy cheap filters.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not just about the quality of the filter; it's the quality of the product that the filter goes on. And when you're at the extreme wide angles or specialist lenses with these enormous front elements
Yes.
that you can't put a
Massive
screw-in filter
element,
on, you've got to have something that doesn't vignette and performs well. Because
Yes.
like we just said, you don't want half of that wide angle
No, of
being
course not.
obliterated with black from the vignette.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Just trotting back a little bit to cameras. I have used this as well.
oh, what your Bronica medium
Bronica.
format
Medium format.
film camera though, isn't
Film
it? It's not
camera.
digital film camera.
Film camera. And what a lovely, gorgeous,
Bit of
gorgeous bit of kit. It's amazing.
But have you dragged that up a mountain though?
No. Never.
I wonder why.
Well, it's a bit heavy.
Yeah,
I feel the weight of that.
I know what it's just ridiculous.
It's a bit heavy.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you were moaning about the 5DS
Yes.
weighing a bit
Yes.
more than the VSR.
And the problem is, if you go up a mountain, it's taking you 2 hours to get up there to the top.
Yeah.
You want to know you're getting your exposure right and everything else, and that's the beauty of a digital camera, of course, is
Yeah.
you can see the image. I have had it perfect in this, and here's an image, and this is of Chroma Pier,
Yeah.
and you'll see instantly there's a kind of a fog on the image, which has naturally occurred with medium format, and it's a very, very sharp, and it's not just the medium format, and it's not just the camera or lens, it's to do with the film itself.
Yeah.
And it is, I still truly love the look of that medium format picture when you get it back
Yeah.
in a digital form and you're looking on your computer. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It is stunning. But I don't use it often, but it does come out occasionally
When you feel like
when I
playing.
feel like it.
Yeah. It's like a weekend out in your Ferrari, isn't it, Ian?
It is. You're right. Yeah, well said, yeah. Okay, moving on then.
Next, please.
Tripods.
Oh,
I think.
yeah. You got to have something to stick it on.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
So what we got here is my very first tripod, and it's still running,
Do you still?
and
do
it
you,
still works.
Do you still take that with you? Is that your
This is my
day-to-day one? landscapes?
Well, to be fair, I have 3 tripods.
You get it.
My everyday use one is what's on there.
Staring me in the face, I didn't see it. Yeah, it's
There
what
it is.
well,
But
what
you can't
we're
see it,
filming.
unfortunately, because we're filming on it.
Yeah, it looks like Manfrotto carbon fibre job to me.
It is, and a lovely piece of kit. I've had it years now.
Yeah.
Very light, very nice, very easy to use. It goes flat as well, so you pull the central.
Yeah, zooming up.
Yeah, and then it goes flat.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's no different to this actually. This does the same.
So a nice versatile.
Nice versatile
tripod.
Yeah, very sturdy.
Yeah.
Well, you can see by the images that I've done, I have had no problem whatsoever with that.
Yeah.
The height that it goes to is a very sensible height.
Yeah.
I've occasionally needed more height.
Mm.
Only
That's
occasionally.
because you're so tall.
Well, no, it's the reeds and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so why have you, greedy beggar, got 3 tripods? I know that. All right, that's your first. You presumably upgraded to.
I did, yes.
So that looks
this
a bit heavy these days.
it is. This is steel.
Steel?
Yeah. Well,
Aluminium.
aluminium. Sorry. This is aluminium, and that's the first one I went to. God knows how much. I have no idea. I can't remember now. But I'm sure you can look them up.
Yeah.
But that was the first one I went, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But when it was really cold, it's got rubber.
Yeah.
It's got rubber here. But when you,
yeah.
right, this shot here, fern, frozen fern, I call it, and the whole river was frozen over in 2010. This shot was taken in 2010, and that was used in this. And my fingers stuck to the poles, stuck to the tripod, and I couldn't believe it.
That's a bit alarming, isn't it?
That is alarming.
Who's put super glue on my tripod?
I got home and I said to the missus, that's bleeding cold this morning. My fingers were sticking to the poles. She said, I'm not surprised it's not -9. I said, you're kidding.
Well, if the river's frozen, it's going to
-9.
be blooming cold, isn't it?
And it was -25 in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
So I remember that. That really beautiful,
Yeah.
wintry scene.
That's Thurn Mill in Norfolk,
That's
isn't it?
Thurn Mill in Norfolk.
On the Norfolk Broad.
Absolutely beautiful
Lovely
place.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've seen God knows how many images of that place,
Yeah.
including my own.
Photogenic. Okay, so you've got one tripod, 2 tripod. What about the little tiddly one?
Right, tiddly one.
Why do you got that?
Why have I got that? Right, the reason I've got that is for travelling.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I am on a plane and I want to go, I used to do a lot of skiing.
Yeah.
And here's some pictures of the skiing pictures I've done of friends.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pan, shoot, do whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And you don't want to be lugging a big heavy old tripod about.
Absolutely not, yeah. But it was very rare that I actually used it for skiing, but I mean, I did use it for other areas, like when we went away on holiday.
Yeah.
It was an easy one to take away.
Yeah.
So it's a very light, when you feel that, that's
it's
pretty light, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't add a lot to your,
and
to your luggage.
Nice and small.
Very small.
Okay.
You can actually take that head off, just turn it off and twist it off and off
So
you
what,
go.
mate? I can't see. I've got the wrong glasses on. Is that
That's an Air.
An Alta.
There you go. So it's an Air 234 AP, and
We'll move on to the drone in a minute.
yeah,
But
sure.
I keep being drawn to the item at the end of the table.
It's
It's got a brolly. And it's not raining.
Yes.
What's the game? Don't you let me.
right. Okay, I've done a recent video on this, recent vlog on, even if it's raining, you can still take photos
You can.
if you got one of these.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, and it's a big brolly as you can see.
Yeah.
It'll cover you, your
And the
equipment,
camera,
and
yeah.
the camera,
Yeah.
and you still take wonderful images, just like this. And this one is in Geneva, in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And I had this, and my lovely lady took a lovely shot of me with the brolly up, taking the photo.
Oh, excellent. Have
So,
you put that
here
up
it
as
is.
well? Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
And that was awesome. That absolutely awesome.
So I think the
it
the moral of the story is
yes,
go prepared.
go prepared.
Because there's nothing worse than getting hiking up a mountain and just not having the gear.
Well, the weather in the mountainous areas, it kind of has its own
Little
weather
microclimate.
pattern, and you can never tell what it's going to do. So most of the time it's raining, And then you get the odd occasion where
Yeah.
it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But we don't want amazing. What we want is drama anyway. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so
that's
Rolly comes
where
in
that
very
comes in.
handy.
Very,
Very
handy for
handy.
that kind of... Right, which leads us on to welly boots.
Ah. Lovely.
Some very specialised welly boots.
Excuse me.
In the fact that I love these, and these are what I use all the time, don't
Yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah.
And well, tell a little bit of the story.
Well, yeah, I mean, I spent quite a lot of time with Ian out photographing wildlife mainly. I mean, that's actually how we met all those years ago.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me, whenever he's out, unless it's the height of summer and everything's bone dry, he's wearing his wellies. And I said to him, why are you wearing your wellies? Surely your feet are uncomfortable. No, he says, they're lovely, they're so comfortable. And I inherited my wellies from my dad. And they're an old pair, 100 million years old, and there was a nightmare wearing them because your socks would fall down, and it's a, oh God, so any excuse not to wear wellies, I'd rather get my feet wet. And then Ian comes along and says, well, why don't you try a pair of these? So I went online, found a pair, and he's right, they are so comfortable.
Yeah.
You can wear them all day,
Yeah.
your feet stay dry, you're comfortable and warm
You're
in the
really well
winter,
shaped,
your socks
aren't
don't fall down. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I mean, look at that for a welly. I mean, everything about that welly fits nicely.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the kind of welly boot that horse riders use.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is you've got an adjustable bit here for your calves. So if you've got a bigger calf or smaller calf, you can adjust to where you want.
Fat leg friendly.
Yes.
Like me.
And thin leg friendly, and and sock friendly, because your socks don't end up around your toes.
Your socks stay put.
Yes,
feet
they
stay
do.
warm and dry, and it's just brilliant.
And they are warm.
Yeah.
And you can get different ones. These particular pair cost me £110 8 years ago.
Good Lord,
8 years ago. I have no idea, but you
Very
bought
smelly.
You bought a pair, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I paid about 70 quid for mine, but even so, which I thought was a horrendous amount of money to spare on penny wellies. I'd rather spend £3,000 on a blooming lens than 70 quid on a pair of wellies. But 70 quid on the wellies is better spent to get more use out of it.
I've been up the Old Man of Store on the Isle of Skye in these wellies, and I've done a little video vlog up there, and this is the resulting image from that. And I walked 2 hours. Me and Amanda walked 2 hours
up the
mountain in ice and snow.
And you still had your wellies.
And I had my wellies on.
Yeah. But I think that's the other thing to say about these particular wellies. I'm sure other ones, posh wellies, work well. But even in ice and snow, they don't half grip well.
Yeah, they do.
Because I've noticed.
I mean, that grip underneath. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't look much, but
no.
If you're on in places that I generally am, and you're on rocks, on seascapes and stuff like that.
Slippery rocks.
I've got slippery rocks. Yeah. These are fantastic.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. The grip on these are far superior to
a pair of walking boots.
To these, which are the walking boots.
Yeah.
And I don't know why these slip on rock.
Yeah, I've noticed that with my walking boots. They're rubbish on slippery rocks. But wellies,
these wellies are amazing.
Stick like glue.
Yep, they do stick like glue.
Excellent.
So well worth the money.
Yeah, definitely.
And you might think, 110 quid, you must be mad. But I tell you what, if you wore them and you knew about them, you wouldn't be saying that.
No, quite. But I think that comes to the point about the brolly as well. If you're well kitted out, it doesn't matter what the weather throws at you. Yeah. You'll go and enjoy your photography more.
You will.
It could be pouring or rain or whatever it is. You've got the gear. You can do it. You can still use it. Makes life so much easier.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Now, liquid and refreshment as well, because some of the treks, to get to the locations that Ian goes to, like you just said, 2 hours up a mountain. You want, when you get to the top, you want at least some water.
Yeah.
sandwich or something. Sustenance. So it's not just about
a bar of chocolate.
It's not just about bringing the right gear. It's about bringing
food and drink. Yes, that's right. You're right.
Comfortable clothing. Yeah. Sensible clothing.
Yes.
For all the conditions.
Absolutely. So how do I find my locations? Books,
oh my goodness gracious me!
Other people's photography, generally as well. Yeah. I'm not shy in saying that. There has been some amazing photography from people that I know and have befriended as well on the internet. Books. If I was to take books with me, which I do, I'll probably take the smaller books with me and leave the bigger books at home, perhaps. Depends on where I'm going. And I have pretty much, I've got, what have I got here? I've got the Lake District, Snowdonia in North Wales, Scotland. So I think that covers quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's Dorset. So when I went to Dorset recently, I wanted to get some really good locations, and this taught me so many good locations.
Yeah.
Brilliant book that is. That is from, I will divulge names because there's a photo of him. And that is, who is he? I can't see.
I've got the wrong glasses on here.
Same here, hold on, let's just look.
Let me know.
Mark
Bauer.
Mark Bauer.
Yeah.
Photography in Dorset. Jurassic,
yeah.
Purbeck, rural Dorset.
Okay.
Lovely, lovely book to read.
Yeah.
So all these books, Cornwall and Devon. Look, Cornwall and Devon, they've got some fantastic locations that they even mark down where
your
they
maps.
are.
Brilliant.
The
Yeah.
maps, where to go. You can't really go wrong. So
No,
if you have that in your backpack as well,
So research.
if you've got room.
Research.
Research is key
Find the
to all
locations,
these amazing
research.
places. That's an amazing book as well.
But also worth pointing out, don't just go to the one location that they say in the
No, of
book
course
or you
not.
think is nice.
Experiment.
Have a look,
Have a look.
experiment.
Take your lunch with you.
Yeah.
Go and have a great day.
Don't
walking.
be rushed. Don't be rushed.
It's good for your health, landscape. Brilliant for your health because you're walking everywhere. You're going up mountains, you're going up fells, everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic for your health. Takes me an age getting up a fell nowadays.
Takes me an hour to raise an eyebrow.
But at least I do it. It takes you an age to raise an eyebrow. Right, okay, moving on.
Back to the table.
So
of
that's the
goodies.
books.
Yeah, books.
What
Good,
have you?
very good point. So come on to the drone because
Yeah, you know, you've been dying to get onto that.
You like your toys, don't you? Well, I know very little about drones. I can fly a radar control helicopter and an airplane,
Yeah.
but I know very little about drones.
Well, if you've flown a remote control helicopter and an aeroplane,
Yeah.
as have I used to be in a club,
Yep.
these drones are a hell of a lot easier than that.
Yeah.
So
all done for you.
it's all done for you.
Yeah. What is the benefit of a drone for your landscape?
Right, benefit of my drone in landscape, and this is a big plus.
Really?
And this is why I wanted it.
Yeah. Go on.
Right, I've had two drones. Let's start off with that.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had two drones. The first drone was absolute pants. It was the DJI Phantom Mark III.
Right.
We are now DJI Phantom Mark IV. I believe they're not actually going to make any more of these, which is sad news because the camera on this one is a Sony 1-inch sensor, 20 megapixels, and it is an awesome, you get a lovely image from it. And here's one here.
So talking about the camera, because photographic based,
Yes.
is that 4K?
Yes, it's 4K as well.
So you've got HD and 4K?
Yes, 60 frames a second, I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
I could be talking out my doodah here, but
Yeah.
I believe it does.
Okay.
Um,
So why the drone? What's that got for you?
the drone, it's not the video as such for me, although I do use a bit of video on it, and
Yeah.
that is great because
Yeah.
it gives you a different perspective from a height.
Yeah.
It also, the reason I do a bit of video is also, now on a recent trip, and I've done a recent vlog on the Scottish landscape photography part 1, for example.
Yeah.
We were in Stackpolly,
Yeah.
the far north of Scotland, and I took the drone up
You did, didn't you?
because I wanted to see scope. I wanted to scope the area to see where we could actually physically walk and see if there was a track that you could go up.
Yeah.
So it's extremely good for scoping out new locations or
Yeah.
anything like that, or,
Yeah.
or locations you've never been to before,
Yeah.
and you're a bit unsure about
Yeah.
it.
So rather than trudge half an hour up there,
Yes,
and
and,
then
and
realise,
find out, oh god,
yeah,
I
it's
took the
no
wrong
go-
turn.
yeah, you can stick that up.
You can stick that
Have a
up
little
straight
look.
away,
Right,
have a
okay.
little look.
Very good. Hadn't thought of that. Useful.
The reason I've got so many batteries, and I've got 3, is because when you go for a week and you're
Yeah.
in the camper van, which is another tool that I want to mention,
Oh God. Yeah.
because that is another tool, and
Are we
that's
getting-
one of the
we're
biggest
not-
tools.
We're not going to get that in here.
No, we're not. No, we'll do that on another We'll do that on another video actually, because that is a very.
Well, we've actually seen.
That's one of my biggest.
You sitting in there with a glass of wine and your steak out.
Yes, exactly.
In the evening. Yeah, very nice.
And that is.
So yeah, but
it's a hotel.
Sorry. Yeah.
Basically,
So you're scoping out.
So I'm scoping out locations with that. Scoping out a way of getting up to a mountain.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know? So
yeah.
It's really brilliant. And also, the other thing is, when you go onto certain locations and you can't physically, and I mean physically, able to get to a position or a nice composition for a landscape photo, and you know it's there, but you know also the only way to get to it is by air. That's where that comes into. So here's a photo of the Kilt waterfall, the Kilt on the Isle of Skye, and it's well renowned, it's well known, and it's a location that everyone is like this over railings.
Oh right, okay.
Trying to get this
so
photo.
You've got it,
and I've gone
with the drone.
Lovely old job.
So I mean, obviously we can see here, but
yes,
for taking a photo with it, what is the image quality like?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's not going to be as good as the 5DS. No. It's just not. You've got to accept that. It's a 20 megapixel camera. It's a 1 inch sensor. 1 inch sensor. It's not massive. It's not massive, but it's not tiny either. You are getting the image quality. The quality's there. If you were to print the images, you'd get a really good image. I don't think you'd tell the difference if you went A4. You wouldn't tell the difference between that, or that. And the nice thing is, this does create some lovely images.
Yeah, you can get some unique viewpoints.
I'll give you a couple now on here. The Mark III was pants. Absolute pants.
Mark IV is the business.
Yes, the Mark IV is certainly better.
Okay, very
good. And they have brought out a Mavic Mark II with the Hasselblad camera on it, and that's a 1 inch sensor, I believe, and I think that's 22 megapixel. But they still reckon, if you look at the reviews on YouTube, that they do reckon that the Phantom 4 Pro is still better quality image than the Mavic.
Just there's a couple of other items on the table I can't help noticing. And I suspect they might be a bit redundant, but remote triggers.
Yes.
That one looks like quite a fancy one.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Okay, right. Remote triggers. Now I don't really use them on the EOS R. I don't actually use a trigger on the EOS R at all.
You use the timer function.
Well, because this is your one.
I know it's mine. You can.
I'm going to play with it. Okay, so right on the back here on the screen, you'll notice that there's a nice little bit of flex when you go like that, and it's on a stable platform. You can go like that. And it won't interfere with the camera body.
So what you're saying is you use the touch shutter feature on the EOS R.
Or I use it on the app. On my
so you're using the remote
app.
Hook it up to the app.
Remote app on
Canon's remote app. Brilliant.
So I use that as a remote.
So they're redundant, really.
So these are redundant, other than the 5DS. So I do keep them obviously for the 5DS. So I'm not getting. I would never sell that.
No. Until they bring out a mirrorless 50 or 75 megapixel camera.
No. Well, if they brought out a 50 megapixel EOS R,
you'd have that.
Yes, I'm sorry, I would have to sell it. I would have to buy it. Because the only disappointment, like I said, I had with the EOS R was that Pegapixels. Yes. Because you zoom in with these images, and you do see they get softer. You zoom in with the 50 megapixels, they retain them sharp. They retain the detail. Whereas this doesn't, in my opinion. However, it's not about that. I know that with landscape photography, we crave detail. It's true, it is.
Pixel peeper.
Yes, but I suppose we are. You get a bit anal when you're doing photography. So with this, it was kind of a little bit disappointing. But what I've got to say is, if you were to, like I said before, previously, if you print them off, you're not going to see a difference.
You don't see the blooming difference. It's only when you're going out to billboard size that you really notice. Yeah. So basically, don't bother pixel peeping. No. Go with the camera that you can afford, that does the job you want it to do, and you'll get some brilliant results.
And another thing that I really love about this, and why I go to all day long, it is, to me, an all-day camera.
Yeah.
I do weddings with this.
You do.
I've got a few images here of weddings. And honestly,
happy
I'm blown away with it.
Yeah.
Because also the dynamic range.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the dynamic range on that is amazing.
It's fantastic.
It's got 5 stops either way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right? Something like that.
If you stick with 1.2 lens on at 6 stops.
Now,
don't tell anyone.
I don't really want to admit this.
Oh, here we go. Confessions of an Ian Robinson landscape photographer. Go on.
Well, this isn't landscape related in that way, but I shouldn't really admit this, but you know, the occasional one photo I do kind of mess up a bit.
No.
You know, it's in the moment. But anyway, this is one of them. Now I'm going to show you, right? Now bear with me. Don't tell me off. But this is one of them. Okay, I'm going to put 2 images up here. One before, one after, and it's of these 2 lovely couple. That I know, they're good friends, and I've done their wedding for them, and here it is. Now the brightest one was, I was using flash, and the flash bounced off the ceiling, and it just, my God, it just blew them away really. So it was quite too highlighted. It was very
massive overexposure.
Massively overexposed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that was, I looked at the camera and went, ooh, better sort that one out. And so obviously sorted it out and done it again. Yeah. As you do, you look at the camera. Failure if you don't, if you just get in like that. Yeah. But anyway, here's the second one. And the second one, same image, but I've got it back.
So the image that you took, that you looked and thought, oh my God, that's blown out, overexposed, blown out on the EOS R. Yeah. Get it in your computer and you've actually managed to recover it back down to a beautiful picture.
Yeah. Oh, and there it is, look.
Brilliant.
And you know, you can't really. It is stunning. That's what that camera.
I know, it's very good.
I mean, that allows you to mess up a little bit.
Yeah.
And still.
Yeah, there's
not
room.
Mess up.
There's room for a bit of error.
Yeah.
All is not lost.
No.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that should be, you know, that's an excuse to mess up all the time, but it does give you that. It gives you that knowledge and comfort.
Yeah.
That if
comfort.
you do mess up slightly,
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, and you can retain, you can get that info, that image back. Anyway, that's another day, another story, another vlog. But
okay.
So I think that's probably.
So that's what you lug about for your landscape photography.
Yes. Yes.
One thing you ought to mention.
Yes.
Because you don't necessarily lug it all about, but
the bag.
Because you've got a very clever little bag that takes drone and
camera
and your camera gear for when you're trudging up mountains.
Yep. I can take 3 lenses. Well, let's quickly.
Do it.
Let's see how quick we can be.
Do it.
Right, I might speed this up actually. Let's do a speed up version, shall we? Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go! All done, and what you fit in is quite an amazing amount.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? That's very good.
Into a small bag.
Very good.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah, Manfrotto bag.
Manfrotto. And they retail at the moment. Now, well, this particular one cost me £160 at the time, and what really annoys me is they now retail at 123.
Ah.
So a bargain. for that kind of bag. It's got pockets in the front, pockets in the sides.
Yeah.
I keep all my batteries from the camera in the sides here. And rings, you know, anything like that.
Yeah,
all the bits and bobs that you have.
Yeah, brilliant.
And and it's all padded on the back. You'll see here.
Yeah.
So that goes around your waist, and it's lovely and comfortable. All lovely and padded.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make your back sweat too much.
Oh yeah, so that's one of the Manfrotto ProLite range bags.
Yes.
So specific model, you can have a look online, can't you?
Yes. Get the details online.
There's loads. It all depends what you want.
There are many kinds of bags.
Highly recommended, all of them.
And that little one there is I can't see the name from here.
That would
Tamarack. Well, that's the smallest bag I've ever owned.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what you can get in that as well.
So do you
can get 2 lenses in that.
So
this lens on a camera.
Okay, so when you're travelling super light, you just take that.
Yep.
A little.
Yeah. If I know I'm not going to use my, and I'm confident that
you don't need.
I don't need my drone.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Travel light. Yeah. Brilliant.
And if I find that a pain as well.
Oh my gosh.
Because I can film my filters in the front, you see, which I used to do.
Yeah.
But what I kind of do now is I've got really lazy. As you go on and on and on with landscape photography, you just want to get lighter and lighter, especially when you're getting older and older as well. So you're getting older and older, and you're getting lighter and lighter. Yeah. So what I tend to do is just have the camera on the tripod, fixed on the tripod. I have
set it up when you get out of your van.
I have my lens there. If I want another lens, I'll pop it in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my filter system. That's the only bag I need.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
So that's it. So what? Again, falling back on the EOS R.
Yeah.
That's what's made that EOS R.
Yeah, because you're saving a little handful of grams between that and the five.
When you say a handful, it notices.
I know it does. I mean,
it's incredible.
I mentioned this last time when we were talking about macro, how easy it is to carry that around rather than 5D Mark IV or the 5DS. So, yeah, brilliant.
Okay, well that's me done.
All right, well done, Ian. That was very nice. I'm pleased you allowed me to take over your channel and run through this.
Yes. How dare you?
Yeah,
I tell you, that's terrible.
So, on that note,
thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a lovely old job.
It's a lovely old job. Well, one more thing to note before we go.
There's more.
And do a lovely old job. Next session we are going to talk about wildlife, aren't we?
Are we?
Remember?
Who are you going to get in for that, Ian?
Oh, I think I'm going to get you in for that, if that's okay with you.
Damn. I know nothing.
Right, we both know a little bit about wildlife, and that is another love of ours.
Well, that's how we met.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Many years ago, and we progressed with lenses and new equipment and whatever we needed, and we learned together, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I've been doing it for 5,000 years.
Yeah.
We won't go into that.
No, but we've had some wonderful images, and we can tell you how we got them on the next video. Here's one. That'll give you a nice little taster. That'll give you a nice little taster of one image and how we got it. But I'm not going to tell you how we got it until the next video. Okay. So tune in for the next video, and we'll be talking about wildlife and how we got them, and showing the images we've done and how we got them images.
Yeah,
okay.
Wonderful.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Trevor.
Pleasure. Well, thank you, sir. And it's a lovely old job.